You guys are a bunch of fucking suckers! And we live in an age of information overload. Who the hell really knows what to believe? Fuck, maybe we just make this shit up on this podcast as we go along. I don't even know. Who knows? But tonight, dear audience, witness the spectacle as Gotcha, greatest hoaxes, gets deep, fat, fried.
The greatest hoax of all is, Scotty.
What's that?
Greatest hoax of all, Scotty. The biggest fraud, biggest fake, the biggest forgery.
I don't know.
It's you, Scotty. It's you. It's always been you. Get out of here, Kong. You lost. You suck.
The greatest fraud ever perpetrated was the dumbass lizard fans that said that I lost to that fucking dumbass lizard.
I mean, we got a lot to go over here, but I just want to say real quickly, if I get in a fight with another dude and he beats the shit out of me to the point where I'm fucking laying on the ground and my heart's fading away and I have to be fucking defibrillated to bring me back, I lost that fight.
Mm-hmm.
No one can deny that. No one can deny that.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know what this is here?
Schist.
This is I don't know what the no, it's like some rocks, I guess.
It's marble countertop, of course.
Yeah, that's like the
correct.
countertop of my kitchen. But someone smashed the fuck out of it.
This is the Archaeoraptor. You guys,
Wow.
so this is actually a famous hoax. So would not be surprised if you guys had not heard of this because it actually happened within our lifetimes. So in 1999, National Geographic magazine touted the discovery of a feathered dinosaur fossil named Archaeoraptor. I'm not even going to fucking butcher its scientific name, but I'll try. Leonogenesis. Horrible. Stating, with arms of a primitive bird and the tail of a dinosaur. This creature, found in Liaoning province, China, is a true missing link in the complex chain that connects dinosaurs to birds.
Wow.
Evolution
Evolution hoax, y'all. Evolution.
Are you guys ready for the splendor?
Oh, damn.
Yes. Yes.
He looks derpy as fuck.
Dude,
if I was going
look
to
at
make up a dinosaur, I would have fucking made up something cooler.
No, dude, I'd like to have one of these as a pet. These dudes look pretty dope. You telling me if I had one of these riding on my shoulder, you wouldn't be impressed?
I mean, it is a dinosaur bird, so I guess I'd be impressed. But
I mean, yeah, I'd be pretty fucking impressed.
I mean, it's hard not
It's
to
like
be
a
impressed with it.
Pokemon.
Yeah, it does look like a damn Pokemon.
Archaeoraptor, I choose you. Guys, unfortunately,
Archaeoraptor
later.
used hoax and it wasn't very effective.
yeah,
Darn.
it was revealed that the celebrated Archaeoraptor fossil was a phony.
Damn.
Made from pieces of unrelated fossils. An
Damn.
investigation determined that the pieces had been found in 1997 by a fossil hunting Chinese farmer digging a pit. He glued the fragments together, then sold the fossil to a Chinese dealer, and then in 1999 sold it to the director of a dinosaur museum in the U.S. for $80,000. So they just, look, the farmer scammed him, he scammed people in America, and the system of capitalism keeps on chugging away.
You know what, dude? All right, China. That shit with the Uyghurs, I was willing to let that slide. But this, you made up a fucking dinosaur and try to pass it off as real? That's it. All right. That's it. I'm done.
World War III.
Where's my saber? Where's my saber? I need to get a saber so that I can just like grab it and just... You know what I mean?
Then, of course, from there, Nat Geo got tipped off. Like, wait a minute. They found the fucking missing link between birds and dinosaurs. I mean, this is a fucking once-in-a-generation discovery. They published a big story in National Geographic magazine. And, of course, after the news broke that Archaeoraptor was a fabrication, the media nicknamed it the Piltdown bird, a reference to the Piltdown man, a hoax involving fossil remains in England in 1912, where they reported to be the missing evolutionary link between ape and early man.
This is just proof evolution ain't nothing but a goddamn hoax, boy.
It was made up. But this
Pull
is
the wool right under their over their damn eyes.
I just love how a Chinese farmer glued some shit together, and that fooled not only some rich Chinese businessmen, but a bunch of snobs down at the museum. Like, let's
yeah,
see
but
here.
you know what? It didn't. I mean, he might have fooled some pretty impressive people, but they didn't stay fooled forever. It was pretty quick that people were like, wait a minute.
They got unfooled.
Let's do some more investigating of this. This seems kind of dubious. I mean, obviously someone was like, I smell bullshit. And they did some actual like, let's compare. Oh, nope, there's problems. This is a fraud. You paid $80,000 for a turd. You're a moron. National Geographic, you're idiots. You wrote about a damn fucking Chinese farmer's hoax. Pretty cool hoax, though.
It happens to the best of us.
Might not be a great dinosaur, but it is a great fucking hoax.
Any idea who this is, TJ?
H.L. Mencken? I don't know.
That is actually right. I'm surprised you got it.
Cool. I don't know. It's something about the way he parted his hair. I'm like, that's H.L. Mencken. I don't know why I associate that particular part with that, but
it's the hair part.
Of course I do.
H.L. Mencken.
Yeah, I do see it in the document now. Maybe I just subliminally saw it, but
maybe
I feel like I knew this motherfucker when I saw him, though.
Huh, good on you. So, December 20th, 1917, writer H.L. Mencken, he was having a little bit of a laugh. He wanted to fuck with people. He wanted to show how gullible people were. So,
huge anti-Semite, by the way.
Yeah. Well,
unrelated to anything.
So was H.P. Lovecraft and then
don't trust any H blank. Name.
So that on that day, when readers of the New York Evening Mail opened the paper in late December, they found Mencken's 1,800-word essay, A Neglected Anniversary, detailing the arrival of the bathtub in the United States. It's kind of a weird thing people miss. Like, hey, the bathtub? Mencken meticulously cataloged the tub's rocky debut in 1842, explaining how the bathroom fad had only been caught on after Millard Fillmore's installation in the White House, excuse me. By the 20th century, Mencken explained, the momentous anniversary had fallen into obscurity. Not a plumber fired a salute, he lamented. Not a governor proclaimed a prayer. It's horrible. People won't even fucking goddamn salute the fucking beautiful bathtub.
How dare they?
There's a good reason why Mencken made the whole thing up. What do you guys think it was?
What?
Money?
Not money.
What?
He figured that everyone would have a laugh. He figured, hey, everyone's gonna see through this. This is a fucking ruse.
So he meant this to just be like a comic. Like he thought people would read this and be like, "This is ridiculous."
He thought people would get the joke. Like he's writing it the way it's written.
Wow. The problem is that the problem is people love a good story about something. So if like you can take something like the bathtub and make it interesting to people, like people just want to believe whatever you told them if it's interesting.
And he later wrote, the article was harmless fun, meant to distract readers from, at the time, World War I. It never occurred to me that it would be taken seriously, he wrote. But printing the piece in the Evening Mail gave his story some more credibility. And he was stunned by how the story snowballed. Within years, it had been referenced in learned journals and cited on the floor of Congress. The tale became so pervasive that the Boston Herald ran an article in 1926 debunking it under the headline, "The American Public Will Swallow Anything." 3 weeks later, the same paper
Still
cited
stands
Mencken's
true to this
bathtub.
day, by the way.
Yeah, but okay, but listen to this. 3 weeks later, the same paper cited Mencken's bathtub origin tale as fact.
They ran a story like that. This is bullshit. Stop believing it. 3 weeks later, they're like, yeah, the bathtub stuff.
Yeah,
That's
Millard
true.
Fillmore put that in the White House, and that's why people started, that's why bathtubs is popular. Mencken tried to set the record straight, but even his efforts were futile. People were more interested in hearing about President Fillmore's bathtub than hearing the truth. Even today, the nugget resurfaces from time to time. In a 2008 story featured in a Kia ad, which hailed Fillmore as best remembered as the first president to have a running water bathtub.
Wow.
Sometimes.
So wait. Not only just H.L. Mencken wrote this, it's just like, here's a bullshit history of the bathtub. And then he could not correct the record. Like, he literally could not stop the lie from spreading, even as he tried to correct it. No debunking ever took hold. And it even got to the point where, like, Millard Fillmore is most famous for it, even though it didn't even fucking happen.
For a lie he made up to entertain people during World War I. Just a little fucking funny article. Yeah.
All right, a cute little origin of the bathtub. We need to start putting out crazy lies about fucking history. Let me tell you the true story of the paperclip, Sonny Jim.
And if you guys are noticing here, this is actually how you get spaghetti. This is a spaghetti tree, as you guys know.
Right.
Obviously.
Yeah, the spaghetti tree.
Spaghetti tree. I mean, look right there. It's right in front of you.
I mean, I see it.
So, where does spaghetti come from? Obviously, if you're learned people like us, it comes from trees.
The spaghetti tree.
Yeah. On April 1st, 1957, no giveaway there. On April 1st, 1957, just say that again, the BBC news program Panorama tackled the question with a segment about a Swiss town's robust spaghetti crop, brought on by a warm spring and the disappearance of the spaghetti weevil. Let's take a look at this, CJ.
Yeah, let's do it.
Spaghetti weevil was gone. Prosperous
time.
times.
It's resulted in an exceptionally heavy spaghetti crop. The last 2 weeks of March are an anxious time for the spaghetti farmer. There's always the chance of a late frost, which, while not entirely
Look at that
ruining the crop,
spaghetti.
generally impairs the flavor and makes it difficult for him to obtain top prices in world markets. But now these dangers are over, and the spaghetti harvest goes forward.
That's how they
Spaghetti
get it.
cultivation here in Switzerland is not, of course, carried out on
Wow, dude. Good for them. Good for
Yeah, I
them.
think they get the bundle of spaghetti. Like, they pick it from the tree and they put it in that bundle, and then you buy it at the store.
I always wondered why spaghetti was so, plentiful and stuff. I was thinking about maybe getting my own spaghetti tree going,
Why did they do this?
This was it's one of your birthday
Oh, it's an April Fool's Day joke?
Yeah.
It was literally on April 1st, 1957. BBC ran this, thinking people would be like, how ridiculous, spaghetti trees.
Viewers, however, ate it up. On April 2nd, the BBC was flooded with hundreds of phone calls from people eager to grow their own noodles, then a rare treat for British diners. Keeping it going, the BBC instructed anyone interested in a pasta-bearing tree to, quote, place a sprig of spaghetti in a tin of tomato sauce and hope for the best.
Good idea. I wonder how many people did that.
I don't know. Probably more than you'd imagine.
I want more spaghetti tree growing, mama.
Maybe you need to put fresh sauce in. That's horrible. My British accent was terrible. I'm sorry.
Once again, there is a very distinct
There is no
reason.
such thing as a British accent. There's no
Terrible,
every
I'm sorry.
attempt at a British
I
accent that an American makes
apologize.
is superior to the actual accent. So
Dude.
I don't know. That
No.
was horrible.
Dude, there's a reason we left that blighted isle, dude. We left behind the people that believed the spaghetti tree joke. Bunch of fucking gutter snipes over there.
I'm gonna plant me spaghetti tree on.
A bunch of idiots.
Oh no.
A bunch of maroons.
How about this, guys? How about a fucking rock supergroup you guys never heard of? You guys probably never heard of this. You guys see who that is up there?
Holy shit! Wow,
Holding.
that's
You got Bob Dylan, got Mick Jagger, and you got John Lennon.
I mean, that's a fucking lineup right there.
It really is.
I mean, they're all gonna rock out with their cocks out, dude. So music fans got some pretty exciting news in 1969 when Rolling Stone interviewed the first album, reviewed the first album by the Masked Marauders, a supergroup featuring, as we show here, Bob Dylan, Mick Jagger, John Lennon, and Paul McCartney. But you know how the laws get, and they have contracts and these labels. So the stars' names wouldn't appear on the album cover, but the review extolled the virtues of Dylan's new deep bass voice and the record's 18-minute cover songs. One of the album's highlights was the extended jam between bass guitar and piano with Paul McCartney playing both parts.
Wow.
I don't know, man. That sounds awesome, dude. The writer earnestly concluded, it can truly be said that this album is more than a way of life. It is life.
Wow.
That's high praise. So anyone that has a couple of fucking brain cells fucking kicking around, got the neurons firing in a direction, can kind of see that this is clearly a fucking joke.
I mean, like when I start to see
These guys
like
are not playing together.
18-minute cover songs, it's not a way of life, it is life. I'm like, okay. This whole thing just reeks of like too much implausibility. This is obviously some kind of fucking like, you know,
this is a hoax.
joke.
I'm mainly a joke.
I mean, so many of these hoaxes you've done are like were obviously never intended to be taken seriously, but people are just so fucking stupid that they are.
Yeah, accidental hoaxes. Like hoaxes.
A lot of them really are.
This is like people who read The Onion and are like, look at this article I just saw. Look at what's going on. It's like, oh my God.
So the guy behind this was editor Gero Marcus, who was fed up with the supergroup trend and figured that if he peppered his piece with enough fabrication, readers would also kind of pick up on the joke and just find it to be funny. They did not. After reading the review, fans were desperate to get their hands on the Masked Marauders album. Rather than fessing up, Marcus dug in his heels and took his prank to the next level.
I mean, at that point, it is a hoax.
He put out an album.
Wow.
He recruited an obscure San Francisco band to record a spoof album, then scored a distribution deal with Warner Brothers. After a little radio promotion, the Masked Marauders' self-titled debut sold 100,000 copies.
Jesus.
This guy's fucking brilliant. 100,000 copies. For its part, Warner Brothers decided to let fans in on the joke after they bought the album. That's nice of them. Like, hey, you got suckered.
Hey, you're stupid. I love it.
Each sleeve included the Rolling Stone review, along with liner notes that read, "In a world of sham, the Masked Marauders, bless their hearts, are the genuine article."
Wow. So beautiful.
That's fucking great, dude. He was able to, I mean, dude, there's scams that, you know, you get away with, and then there's this.
And they sold 100,000 of these fucking albums based on the fake review. People are like, wow.
It just shows you how little people looked into shit, dude. And even now, even now we have the internet. It's like, are the Masked Marauders real? No, it's a hoax. That's all you would have to do at this point.
I remember a certain individual that tried this fake review technique and had far more limited success. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, some individuals are not as clever as others.
The greatest book that I've ever written. A true triumph of dark fantasy fiction.
Ugh. Guys, how about this? How about the origin of April Fool's Day?
You know, I can read you the track listing for this fake album before that if you want.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's pretty funny. So it starts with "I Can't Get No Nookie." Sucks for you. Duke of Earl, "Cow Pie," "I Am the Japanese Sandman," "The Book of Love," "Later," "More or Less Hudson's Bay Again," "Season of the Witch," and finally culminates with "Saturday Night at the Cow Palace." I gotta listen to this fucking album and see what fucking people actually got duped into fucking buying, dude.
most people that reviewed it, that I read, generally give it pretty poor reviews. It's
I mean,
kind
yeah,
of just
I'm
one,
sure it's
kind of
got to be
well,
of
dude,
terrible quality.
it was just one of those things where it was like, if you happen to be there at the right time and right place and you heard this shit, it's like, dude, John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Mick Jagger, and Bob Dylan made an album. It's called The Masked Riders. Why aren't they on it? Why didn't they say anything about it? It's a fucking legal shit, bro. You just gotta buy it. 100,000 fucking copies.
100,000 motherfucking copies of that shit.
So if you ever doubt yourself in life, just know that some fucking journalist was able to dupe 100,000 people into buying a fucking album purported to be created in fucking some obscure town in. I think they said it was made in like some weird town in like Newfoundland or British Columbia or some shit. There's a bunch of mythos behind it I couldn't pull because obviously for time constraints, but if you're interested in it, definitely check out more about it because there's a whole origin story for this that goes way deeper. Well, Paul, you might like this one. How about the origin of April Fool's Day?
Man, you're gonna ruin my already ruined birthday. Yeah, it's already born on joke. Fucking play a prank on people day. You know.
I mean, it was a pretty good one on your dad's part too.
Yeah, it's true.
But now, Paul, you're gonna know the real deal, how it really went down, how it finally. Because I mean, you guys probably wondered this. I mean, do you guys know the origin of April Fool's Day? Like, why do people take April 1st and say, "Oh, I'm gonna play a prank on you. I'm gonna do some shit to you. You know, I'm gonna fucking steal your wallet and hide it in a fucking an ice chest. You gotta find it." April Fools.
Yeah. I think it traces back to Middle England, where a jolly old tubby named Saul Darkey fell off of a wall and had a great fall and all of this stuff and rolled his roly-poly ass down the street and everyone laughed and said, "Oh, truly today is April Fool's Day."
That's good enough. It's probably more plausible than the version we're about to tell you. So This is Joseph Boskin, professor emeritus of history in the College of Arts and Sciences at Boston University. But he was able to fool the Associated Press, and they actually ran a story about it. So in 1983, BU's public relations office gave Boskin a call with a question. Was it okay to pitch him, a historian and purveyor of popular culture, as an expert of the history of April Fool's Day? Not giving the request much thought, he jokingly said, "Oh, okay, sure. I'll be the historian about, I'm an expert on the history of April Fool's Day. I'll do it." That week, he headed to Los Angeles to meet with Norman Lear. Boskin planned to write a history of Lear's series, All in the Family. The PR contact reached him there, asking him to talk to a reporter from the Associated Press. The AP reporter asked Boskin about the origins and history of April Fool's Day. And this is his words. "I said, I don't know anything about the holiday. I really can't help you," he recalls. The news reporter said, "Come on, don't be so modest." The reporter keeps pushing him. So he decides, hey, you know what? Why don't I just create the story?
I'll give him something.
I'll give him something.
Ugh,
you know what this is?
This is fucking horrible. It looks hideous. Oh my God, that's disgusting. What is that?
One of Boskin's closest friends had always loved the Jewish noodle pudding called kugel.
Ugh.
You ever heard of kugel, TJ? Delicious.
No, it looks gross.
This is delicious. This is from the official Wikipedia on kugel.
Okay. I don't want it.
You're not down for it?
Looks dry.
All right, fair enough, man. I'm just offering. So for some reason that popped into his head. And he decided to tell a story about a jester who became king. King Kugel. And of course, one of Boskin's fields was medieval history. So he concocted a convincing tale. Like he knew the age-appropriate stuff to put in there to make it seem like, hey, he's got it. I actually have an excerpt from the article, though, the AP published. Boskin traces the custom of April 1st joke-telling and prank-playing to the days of the Roman Emperor Constantine, when a group of fools and court jesters told the monarch that they could rule the realm better than he. Constantine was amused, Boskin said, and gave his jesters one day to rule, the king of fools, a jester named Kugel.
Man.
And of course, Kugel.
There he is. There's
that's
Kugel,
Kugel.
man.
Might as well
There
be
he
Kugel.
is.
Issued
That's
a
fucking
proclamation.
Kugel, man.
So, but TJ Kugel did something with his time and power. He issued a proclamation that only the day that on that day only the absurd would be allowed. That'll be silly on April Fool's Day. So Kugel, king of the jesters, also a Jewish noodle pudding dish, declared this to be so.
Who the hell? Why is noodles and noodles should not be a goddamn pudding? And it didn't. I mean, I don't. Okay, sorry. I'm on the wrong. I'm on the wrong topic. Let's just go.
It's all right, TJ.
Kugel.
It's all right. The Kugel, yeah, Kugel. Kugel, who knows? In a way, it was a very serious day, said Boskin. In those times, fools were really wise men. It was the role of the jester to put things in perspective with humor. And that goes back to Boskin himself talking about the incident. Since I was calling New York, where Kugel is famous, and it was April Fool's Day, I figured he would catch on. Boskin laughs. Instead, he asked how to spell Kugel. As he was telling the outlander story, he kept expecting the reporter to wise up to what he was doing, but all he heard was the clatter of a typewriter on the other end of the phone. How do you spell Kugel?
Do?
Oh, what do you do then? He told Costine what? Oh, okay. When AP published the story, Boskin got calls from the Today Show and other reputable news outlets asking him to go into more detail about the origins of King Kugel. So, of course, they bought it too. Back at BU, Boskin used the amusing scenario to show students in his media and social change class how the media can suddenly pick up on a joke, a rumor, an innuendo, or a story and regard it as authentic. No matter what you hear, you must question, Boskin reminded his students. Of course, I mean, he saw it firsthand. Unbeknownst to him, the editor of the Daily Free Press was in his class. The next day, it ran the headline, Professor Fools AP. And of course, the Associated Press takes their shit very seriously. And this is him again. The AP had a huge conniption when they read this, Boskin says. I got an immediate phone call from the editor there, who was furious, saying that I had ruined the career of a young journalist. And he said I told a lie. A lie, I asked? I was telling an April Fool's Day story. The AP always, and we mean always, checks on stories. For some reason, this one fell through the cracks. It's not their fault. It was their fault for not checking the story, and I embarrassed them. But I mean, really, Kugel? What reporter in New York doesn't know what that is? So that's him just basically being incredulous. Yeah,
Dude,
I guess
you know
that
what?
dude he didn't figure it out.
I mean, it's appropriate that the origin of April Fool's Day would be made up. So, like, who fucking wants to know the real goddamn origin of April Fool's Day? This is cooler. Just go with it. Let's just all agree. Let's just all agree that this is fact. Fuck it. Kugel fucking ruled for a day and did this.
I do not agree.
Agree with me, Paul.
I dissent.
Agree now. Agree.
I dissent.
Damn you, Paul. Damn you to fucking hell.
To make Kugel take your eyes.
Scotty, I think pretty much every one of your hoaxes, except for the fucking Chinese farmer cobbling together that thing, was like kind of started off as like a joke. They're just like, people are just like literally just trying to joke, like trying to create a scenario so absurd that no one would believe it, and people still believed it. And then you know what that lets me know? It lets me know that this like whole phenomena of like, people say like satire is dead, parody is dead. You can't even make the world more ridiculous anymore. It's just always been the case. The world has always been so ridiculous that people will believe anything because they just look at it and say like, maybe in this fucked up world, maybe that did happen.
Well, when any sort of authority or when other people start talking about it, I think a lot of people just feel like social pressure. They see like, this is the official explanation. Like you said, like if it's a bathtub, it's boring. No one gives a fuck about bathtubs besides when they're in them. So it's like, oh,
for some reason,
it's a weird story.
Millard Fillmore was the first president to ever. Someone's like, ooh, I like that fact for some reason. I like a reason to say Millard Fillmore. You know?
Makes it sound smart, dude. Like, TJ, give me a fact about Millard Fillmore now.
He was the first president to have a fucking bathtub, right?
There you go. The show has done its job. You guys don't know what is fucking real and what's reality, and does it even really matter anyways? That's what I got for you on.
You know, it'd be cool, Scotty, if all the hoax you told us turned out to be true, and there's there really is a spaghetti tree and all that stuff. And this episode was a fucking hoax on us.
Maybe
You
you'll
know?
find that out. Maybe not. Who knows?
I don't fucking know. It's crazy
I don't know
stuff.
what to know.
Who can say?
Think about it.
The lines
All I
between
know is-
reality and fiction are fucking totally blurred now.
Praise King Kugel, inventor of April Fool's Day. That's all I have to say.
Praise him.
Big fat pride.